Hey, it's Shay, and let's talk Disney. First, if you have any questions or would like a Disney or Universal quote, my email is on the screen below and in the description, and it's completely free. Now, you've decided you're going to go to Disney on vacation. Great, it's my favorite place to vacation. It could be yours too. Now, you're wondering when is the best time to go? What is taking place around Walt Disney World, like your Epcot festivals? And what is the weather going to be like? In this video, we're going to focus on the calendar and when are the best and worst times to go to Disney World. Of course, some of you may not have a choice as to when you can go. You have to go when the kids are out of school or whenever it's convenient for you to get off from your job. For those, this video can help you get an idea of what's happening in Disney when you go, what kind of crowds to expect, and what the weather could be like. For those that have an option when you go, this video can help you narrow down when would be the perfect time for your Disney trip. Let's just take this month by month, starting January 1st. Well, December 31st, New Year's and New Year's Eve. These 2 days are probably some of the busiest times at Disney. Many times they will sell out months in advance, meaning the park may hit capacity and you may not be able to get in. So unless ringing in the new year at Disney is on your bucket list, I would suggest just not, unless you have no other choice. If this is something on your bucket list, contact me. I would love to help you plan it. January also marks the start of Epcot's Festival of the Arts, which I have personally been to and loved. There is also usually a Run Disney Marathon. If you are not running in the marathon, it can be a little harder to get around as they have lots of roads and walkways closed for the runners. If you want to run in the marathon, plan ahead, as tickets usually sell out within hours. January is a great time to go if you can avoid marathon weekend. Yes, the Festival of the Arts makes Epcot crowded, but Epcot is such a big park it's fine, and going through the week to Epcot can also cut down on crowds. As far as weather goes, the weather is almost perfect in January. I've been at that time and crowds were light, not the lightest I've seen, but light. I wore pants and short sleeves during the day and a light jacket in the evening, but I'm very cold-natured. Highs tend to be in the low 70s, with the lows being in the low 50s. The whole week we were there, it never rained, as January only averages about 4 days of rain for the entire month and 2.5 inches total. Moving right along to February, Epcot's Festival of the Arts usually ends late February, and Disney's Princess Marathons usually start right after that into March. Again, unless you're running in a marathon, it may be best to try to stay away from going during that time, or at least plan extra time to get from place to place, including rides. Early to mid-February is another great time to go, as crowds tend to be lower, and Epcot's Festival of the Arts is not as crowded as opening week. February's temperatures tend to be about the same as January's, with the highs in the mid-70s and the lows in the mid-50s. Rainfall amounts tend to be a little higher, but not by much, with an average of 6 days with rain and about 3 inches total for the month. Now comes March, which is the start of spring break season. The entire month of March tends to see more crowds. Usually the first week finishes off Princess Marathon from February and starts the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. If this is the only time you can go, there are ways to help with the crowds, including rope dropping, staying in a deluxe resort for extra magic hours, and of course, buying lightning lanes. I would be glad to help you with anything you need during these busy times if you book with me. The weather in March starts to get warm with highs in the upper 70s and lows in the upper 50s. With the warmer temperatures comes the chance for more rain, with 10 days showing some kind of rain and about 4 inches total for the month. April, like March, especially the first week or two, is fairly busy as spring break starts in some states. By the end of April, crowds taper off slightly to a more moderate level. Usually Epcot's Flower and Garden Festivals last the entire month, but there also tends to be a marathon weekend sometime mid-April. If you have to go in April, plan to purchase those lightning lanes and pack your patience. The highs tend to be in the low 80s and lows in the low 60s. Rain chances are roughly the same as March, if not a little lower, with an average of 6 days seeing rain and a total of 3 inches for the month. The first half of May sees moderate crowds, with the crowds picking up around Memorial Day. For some kids, the end of May sees summer break start as well. Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival can last for the entire month as well. Sometimes it does end in May. It all just depends on what Disney wants to do. If you are a Star Wars fan, then May the 4th at Hollywood Studios is a must. If you are not a fan, avoid going to Hollywood Studios that day, as crowds will be extremely high. It starts to get hot in May with the highs in the high 80s and lows in the high 60s or low 70s. From now through summer, your rain chances only go up. But remember, even during the rainy season, storms tend to come quickly and go just as quickly. May only averages about 8 days with rain, but the rainfall amounts tend to be bigger with almost 5 inches for the month. We're going to do June and July together as everything about them is pretty much the same. Schools everywhere are on summer break by the end of June. Both months tend to have moderate crowd levels, except around the 4th of July where it can get busy. If Epcot's Flower and Garden Festival is still going on, it will end sometime in June, and there will be no festival in July. In fact, the only thing going on will be the 4th of July special fireworks at the Magic Kingdom and Epcot. These fireworks usually go from the 3rd to the 4th and 5th, so you don't have to go on the 4th to see them. Hurricane season also officially starts in June, but you don't really have to worry about them until mid-August and September. High temperatures hover around the low 90s, with the lows being in the mid-70s. Rain amounts go up with the afternoon thunderstorms almost being a given, although they don't last long. 14 to 16 days is what sees rain in both months, with the rainfall amounts hitting 6 inches or more each month. August doesn't stray too much from June and July, with temperature highs being in the low 90s and the evening lows being in the mid to upper 70s. August tends to be one of the rainiest months of the year for Orlando, with 21 days seeing some kind of rain and a total of 8 inches for the month. From personal experience, it will monsoon like crazy for about 3 minutes, with it dumping buckets of rain and tons of lightning. Then just like that, it'll clear up. As far as what is happening in Disney, the Epcot Food and Wine Festival usually starts in late August, but that all depends on Disney. Also, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party will start on select days in August. These tend to sell out fast, so if this is something you want to do, book right away, as they may not be available when you get down there. It is the peak of hurricane season, so trip insurance might not be a bad idea, and I would be glad to help you with that as well. September tends to be some of the lightest crowds. I know, I've been during this time. It also will still be hot and rainy with the possibility of a hurricane, so keep that in mind even though crowds are low. Epcot's Food and Wine Festival goes all month long, as does Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party on select nights. September is still very hot, with highs in the low 90s and lows in the mid 70s. Rain usually happens at least 11 days out of the month, with 6 inches falling during that time. October finally starts bringing some relief from those 90-degree days, with highs in the mid 80s and lows in the high 60s. The rain chances drop drastically as well, unless there is that stray hurricane, with only 5 days of rain and 3.5 inches total. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party happens all month long on select dates, with October 31st being the last day, and usually the first one to sell out. Epcot's Food and Wine Festival goes on all month, and a Disney Marathon usually happens late October as well. November officially starts off the holiday season at Disney. The first part of the month will see the first dates of Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Jollywood Nights. Epcot's Food and Wine Festival usually runs till almost the end of the month. Then in just a few days, it switches over to Epcot's Festival of the Holidays. The weather gets back to being about perfect, with the highs only in the 70s and lows in the low 60s. Rain chances go back down to an average of only 4 days of rain and 2.5 inches overall for the month. And finally, December, where it cools off only slightly more, with rain chances about the same as November, with 4 days of rain and 2 inches total. Temperatures are in the mid-70s, with the lows in the upper 50s. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party is still going on select nights, which is amazing. I've also been to both Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party and Epcot's Festival of the Holidays, which goes on all month. So if you have questions, I would be glad to answer them since I have been there. Jollywood Nights is also still going on select nights. Now that you know what is happening and what the weather is going to be like for the year, it's time to decide when you want to go. Reach out to me to help you plan it. Disney already figures in you using a travel agent in their prices. Whether you use one or not, it doesn't cost you anything extra. Plus, you gain someone with extensive knowledge to help you get those lightning lanes and dining reservations. My services are free and give you a peace of mind when booking something that can be complicated and stressful. So until next time.